start it on Sundays too. But I use Mondays because when I try to find out how much money I made this week, I go Monday through Sunday. That's really how I start off my week. So when I tell you good morning, start off the new week, it's going to be a Monday. So I want to talk about the importance of following your dreams in the junk removal industry and not being able to be successful in it or being successful in it, the wins and the failures of this business. It's windy. Windy. Good morning. The realization that you want to start a junk removal business or just a business overall is such a huge accomplishment. It's a huge accomplishment. It's something like, I think 9% of the people in the United States do. It's such a low number. Like I could go around these apartments and ask how many people own their own business, and I'll probably find one or two people. It's such a low number. And the importance of growing your business and just starting the business is something that you should cherish and something you should be proud of. If you were successful or you failed at it, it doesn't matter. Just starting it. It takes so much pride. There's so much nervousness. There's so much unthinkable ideas that you didn't think about before that made this little journey of yours possible. And if you failed, you failed. If you won, you won. And that's what I kind of want to talk about this morning. I remember when I started my business, God, I can remember it. I started my business 17 years ago. I was actually working I was doing real estate. I had my shoe stores in Dallas. I had 5 shoe stores in Dallas. And I was only printing money, but not making any. You know what I mean? We sold so many shoes. And the downward of the economy, too, really killed us, too. September 11th crippled it. The dot-com bubble, all that stuff. It was bad. But really, retail took a really bad dive. I got my divorce too at the same time. I got my divorce. And I wasn't able to recover my business, and I took a loss. Yeah, the only thing about losing my business, the only good thing about losing my business was the fact that I remember this like it was yesterday. Dealing with employees, man. God, I want to say that it was so, I had that monkey off my back, But then I started junk removal immediately after that. So I was working real estate, and I was working for some guy that sold drugs. I had no idea that he was in the drug cartel. No idea. I just knew he had a lot of money. And this guy, we'll call him Mario, was a really good guy. He was a really, really good guy. And he owned a trunking company. And I had no idea that he worked for the cartel. All I know is that he always had money. And the reason I knew him, how I found out to know him, I was at a gas station. And he had a Corvette ZR1, and I had a Corvette. And I remember being at the gas station, and he was putting premium, and I was putting like mid fuel. And I just remember, hold on, someone sent me a message. And I was sitting there at the gas station, and he had a $150,000 car, like 120. And back then, the C6 Corvette, the ZR1 was a like, whoa. was a big deal. It was the baddest car on the street, man. Anyway, I looked at his car, we talked, and I started working for him. He wanted to buy some properties. I'm like, yeah, I'm in real estate, I dabble. But while I was doing real estate, I was doing junk removal on the side. And he owned some trailers, so I borrowed his trailers. That's just crazy about it. I had a truck that my dad let me borrow, and I used his trailers to do junk removal. And I didn't have to pay him. He was just a good guy. He was a really good guy. I never told this story because I only worked with him like 3 months until I found out. Well, actually, I didn't find out. My dad found out. And I remember suspecting that he was working for the drug cartel because he was giving me like $350,000, $450,000 cash to buy property. And you couldn't buy cash. You can't buy property like that. You just can't buy property like that. You got to get like cashier's checks and stuff. Oh, it was a mess. And that was a whole different story, how I managed to buy properties for this guy. Anyway, while I was doing real estate, my dad found out he was in the drug cartel. He went over there and talked to him, and then I quit the next day. Yeah. And I was left with nothing. I wasn't working real estate anymore. I quit the real estate office because I suspected that my boss knew that I was working for the drug cartel and could have told me after the first week, even though he didn't lead me to him. But it doesn't matter. The point is that I stopped working for him because overall I didn't think it was the greatest idea in the world. And I remember my dad asking me, what am I going to do? And I told him, Dad, I've seen this thing where this 1-800 junk truck goes and picks up junk. I think I'm just going to use Craigslist and Yahoo and just post my information on it. And I wasn't a big internet guy. Oh my God, I was not. I didn't even know what the internet was, really. You know, if you wanted to look up like just normal stuff, the internet wasn't really there, you know. It was like a catalog, like a Rolodex. The internet was like the Rolodex of stuff. There was no AMS, NBC, CNN. Nobody was on it. But there was a Craigslist. I do remember that. Anyway, so I started doing junk removal. I started posting on, there was no Facebook either. I started posting on Craigslist, Yahoo, Oodle, and I built myself this little rinky-dinky website. I had no idea what I was doing, but it took me like a year to fix the website. Like, I had no idea what I was doing. But taking that leap of faith is the same leap of faith that you take when you go into a relationship with a woman, or you go in a relationship with a business partner. It's that same leap of faith, you know? And it's if you want to do it or not, you know what I mean? If you want to risk it and put your family through so much pain, put your family through so much wins. Starting a business is hard. Being successful in that business is the worst. It's harder. I'm just thinking, like, when I took that risk, I really didn't have a van. I really didn't have a trailer. After I quit from that guy, Mario, the cartel guy, you know, I quit using his trailers. My dad let me borrow his van. I remember my dad, he just gave it to me. My dad was so cool. He's like, hey, you know that 3500 Econoline Super Cab, yeah, like an extended? He said, use that and do whatever you're going to do. But I'm going to tell you something. I remember this like it was yesterday. He said, you will not be successful in your business because the city picks it up for free. I remember that. Indio, good morning. Panario, good morning. Wally Khan, good morning. Alex, good morning, guys. If you're in the chat, say hi. I'll tell you good morning, guys. So, I just remember taking that risk to start junk removal, it was tough, man. It was tough. I got a good story, by the way. Good morning, Mr. Bond, Boston, Banshee. Good morning, the Rizzo Junk Removal from New Hampshire. Good morning, brother. Howdy, Kevin. My boy, Cub. Ask good questions all the time, brother. I got a good story for y'all about last night. Anyway, I took that step. I borrowed my dad's van. It didn't cost me nothing, right? Because he gave it to me. I'm his son. He gave me a van he wasn't using. The van, he would use it periodically, like to go pick up groceries. But my dad owned like 4 or 5 vans. And every time he bought a new van, the other van he never used. He wasn't like me where I use all my trucks all the time. No. My dad bought a van, and here's one thing about my dad. He always bought the big version of it. So if my dad was going to buy like a F-250, he didn't buy the F-250. He bought the F-350 Super Duty with the Allison transmission, shit like that, you know what I mean? With the leather seats. He always bought the big version because he said the companies always put more features on the big version of these trucks. So get the big version of the truck. I was like, okay. All around junk removal. What's up, guys? I got 2 jobs in the field. I got 2 jobs today. That's pretty cool. You know what? I'll tell you, I got another side note. 2 jobs on the schedule today. And about the 2 jobs that I got, they're not timed. I can go whenever I want. Because they're both commercial jobs, then I get paid the same day. That's the thing about all that. 2 different companies, they always pay me the same day. They do Venmo. So that's really cool. I don't mind that. Not a big deal. I remember borrowing my dad's van. It was a badass van, dude. One of the strongest vehicles I've ever owned, by far. 3500 Econo Extended Super Duty. It was a bad mama jama. And then I hooked a trailer to it. So it held like 20 square yards, cubic yards. I swear, it held a lot. And then I throw a 16-foot trailer on the back that I bought. Get this. And this is so cool how my business started, because after my dad had let me borrow the van, I was doing small junk removals, small ones like 250, 300. I think if you maxed out my van, I was charging 250 at the time. You know what? I didn't really have a price for it. I just was posting shit. People would ask me, and I'd just give them a price over the phone. There was no pricing war. There was no pricing out there that I had to look at someone else's website to find out, because there was nothing to look at. And I remember going to people's houses and charging them accordingly to what I thought. That'll be 150. I'll probably fill up the whole van. I didn't know what I was doing. It was just me. Yeah, it was really cool. You know, I had such a supporting family. Crazy thing is, I was telling this to somebody last night. As I started my business, and I was like in year 4 or 5, my dad got sick with cancer. And a lot of people always tell me, good morning, junk bees nuts. What, boss? Bees, yeah. My eyes are getting so bad, dude. It's happened in the last 2 years. It sucks. You thought my eyes were bad? My wife's eyes are really bad. At a restaurant, I read the menu for her. I like open the menu, and then I just go over the menu with her. And she said, just order for me, honey. I'm like, all right, I'll order. It's really cool. Regardless, if you're in the chat, go ahead and say hi. Getting back to my van. I pulled a 16-foot trailer. I went to a guy's house, and he had a van, a 16-footer in the back, and he was moving. Oh, no. I remember how I got my van. I went to this lady's house in Fort Worth, Texas, not far from here. It was in the historic district, and I went there, and her husband had passed away. And they had a a van in the backyard. And I said, well, ma'am, I unloaded his tools. I loaded them to the truck, to my van, and doing all this stuff. And I said, ma'am, is that van, are you going to get rid of it? And she goes, I'm going to sell it. I asked her how much. She said, I don't know, maybe an offer. I told her 500. She came back at 800. She took my $800. And I remember having to fix the tires so I could bring it home. One blew out on the highway. It was an older trailer. I painted it, put logos on the side. Didn't make a difference to the business. Anyway, all I can remember is, and I remember asking my dad, can my truck, can this van pull the trailer? My dad's go, brother, this van can do anything you want. It will pull anything. And sure enough, strong ass vehicle, strong effing vehicle, man. Yeah, it was really cool. But that challenge of starting the junk removal, and the stars were aligned. The old lady gave me the van. Working for the drug cartel guy, my dad gave me his van. That van ended up in Houston, Texas, when Jose, the owner of Junk Guys Houston, he left. He went to Houston. And I told him, well, I already got these other 2 trucks. By that time, my business was growing. So I had bought another 2 trucks. And I told him, why don't you just take the van and start Junk Guys Houston? And that's what he did. He built Junk Guys Houston into a business. And here's the story with my father. He had cancer. He had stage 4 cancer. Stage 3. He was doing bad, but he still came to work with me. He was, my mom wouldn't let him. So he would sneak away and tell my mom that he was going to go take a walk. He'd walk around the block and then text me because he couldn't talk anymore. The cancer had already eaten him up. And he would text my mom. He would text me, come and pick me up. I'm waiting for you. And I'd get dressed and I'd go down there and pick him up and we'd go to work. Yep. My dad was the hardest worker I ever known. So people always tell me, Ricardo, you wake up, you walk, you go to the gym, you go to work, and you're working the haunted house, you're doing this, you're doing that. Man, my dad did 3 times more than I did. I'm 33%. I decided to do this yesterday. I was thinking, how hard of a worker was I compared to my dad? I was 33% of a man compared to what he was. That dude could work. Man, he was like a little battery, energizer battery. Anyway, the risk, the challenge, the idea of taking that step, buying a trailer, starting a business. That's tough, man. That's tough coming off that divorce with my first wife. That was tough. And then doing the divorce, it was just hard. The whole kid thing, and separating stuff, something you don't want to ever go through. It was my, first divorce, and I didn't know what I was doing, dude. I didn't want to hire an attorney. I didn't care. I was just like, man, get it over with. String me up, tie it to my neck, and put a chair underneath me. Oh, cool, man. What's up, HD Green Solutions? Blair Chambers. Good morning, Blair. So, anyway, I was able to keep my business and run it and stuff. And I just worked hard, man. That's all it took. It didn't take anything else. It's just working hard. Work hard, stay focused, build your business. Work hard, stay focused, build your business. 17 years later, I'm here, guys. Jose, what's up, man? Good morning. Blair, good morning. HD Green Solution, what's up, man? So, I've had a lot of time on my hands lately, and I have taken up country dancing. Now, I've been doing salsa and bachata dancing for 5 years. I've gotten okay at it. I'm okay. I'm not bad, but I'm not great. I'm just good. But I've taken up country dance lessons, and I'm bad. I want to get good. I just want to get good. Not great. I don't care about getting great. I want to get good. And last night I was in class, and I was sitting there, and some dude across the room, he keeps on looking at me. Oh man, throughout the whole night, he just keeps on staring at me really weird, like mugging me. He's like looking at me like that. And I weighed 239 pounds, by the way, this morning. And he kept on looking at me, and he was kind of mugging me, man. Went from routine to routine. See, you go from room to room. You go from intermediate, basic, intermediate. Oh man, 3 hours of this shit. Start at 5, you go to 8, and then I go to the gym. Last night I got a little lazy. I didn't get to the gym till like 11:30 at night. Anyway, so I decided to leave last night. The class was over, but I left a little early. They usually do like pictures and stuff. They always take a picture of the dance, you know? Hey, class is over, guys. You know, if you want to buy shoes, you buy them over here. But class is over, and we're going to take a group picture. And I usually bail. At the group picture, I just bail because I'd rather be driving home because I got a long drive. And I walk out, and I'm going to my big truck because I took my F550 there. And I could tell someone is behind me. He goes, excuse me. I'm like, turn around. It's a good story. You're going to like this story. And he goes, I recognized you from somewhere. And I'm like, oh, okay. I said, well, where's that at? I am thinking he recognized me from a previous class in the dance, like, because I don't do much anyway. And he didn't, man. He recognized me from YouTube. And he said, you cut grass. You're a landscaper. I've seen you on TV or on YouTube, you know, online. And I said, no. He goes, I forgot your name. And I told him, I said, my name's Ricardo. I'm with Junk Guys. He goes, damn it, you make these crazy videos. I said, yeah. He goes, okay. And this is what he told me. He goes, the reason I know who you are is my brother recommended one of your videos. You were walking around a park. Ta-da! I'm walking around a park just a few weeks ago. And I was like, I am walking around the park. And he said he found it really inspirational. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. Anyway, this guy is in the landscape business. And he was telling me, he asked me for advice. Hey, can I get some advice? I'm like, yeah, dude, come on. And he asked me questions. We talked for about an hour. That's why I was a little late coming home, because the class ends like 8:30, 9. And I stopped talking to him like 10:30, 10:15. So I don't remember. I didn't get home until like 11 and then went to the gym. But I was out there talking, and I was answering his questions. We were just talking about how the business. So here's what he did. He said he started landscaping 1 year and a half ago. And he started his business 1 year and a half ago. And when he started his business, he borrowed his trailer from his father. And I was like, whoa, that's pretty good. Here's my F-150. He showed me his F-150. He goes, man, you got a big truck, because I had my F-550 with me. And I go, yeah, dude, I got a few of them like that. He's like, oh, really? He was all energetic. He subscribed to my channel and all that shit. I mean, all that stuff. Excuse my language. And wow. Anyway, I was just thinking what he said to me. He was like, yeah, Ricardo, I was so scared, I was afraid. Yeah, Nick, you asshole. Nick, I love that man. And He said, I was so afraid, but I wanted to take that risk. He just had a baby girl, a little baby girl. He said, I'm afraid to start a business, but I can't. He was an electrical guy. He worked on the poles, making like $19 an hour. He was just dangerous. I'm taking a risk every time I'm climbing up there. I can get shocked, blah, blah, blah. So I started a business. But I took that risk. And I was so scared and afraid. And this guy was so Christian-like. He goes, but I asked God, me and my wife went to church. This is a story he tells me. He said, me and my wife went to church and we prayed about it. If this is the direction we were, and he sent us a sign. I asked him what was the sign. He said, my dad wanted to sell his trailer and he told me if I can help him sell it. And I was like, oh, really? He goes, yeah. And that was a sign that I should ask him for it. And his dad gave him the trailer. Isn't that pretty cool? He goes, I pray to God to take this thing I have inside me that makes me afraid of starting a business. And here goes the full circle. Y'all are gonna go, what? I was so scared to take that risk. I was so afraid to take that risk. But I did it. Yep, I did it. I was like, wow. I said, brother, I've been doing this 17 years, I told him. And it's a risk every day. Just to stay in business is tough. But it's a risk that you take to stay in business, stay open, provide for your family, provide for kids. Just provide, dude. Just provide, bro. He was so scared, he was so afraid to start his business. But he did it, man. Yesterday morning, I went to church. And I was at church about 9 o'clock in the morning. I did my workout early. I got here. I was here yesterday, walking. And then I went to the gym afterwards. Then I went to church. Usually get there at 9:15. Well, man, they talked about being afraid of your next part of your journey with the Lord. Being afraid. And then this guy that same day talks about he was so scared he was afraid. And that he asked God to give him the strength to not be scared and to be afraid. And then that morning, dude, the pastor's talking about being afraid. I'm like, damn, bro. I told him, I said, Joe, this morning the pastor was talking about being afraid. So, full circle. If you're new to junk removal, if you're thinking of starting a junk removal business, don't be afraid, man. Give that strength to the Lord. Give that to God, Jesus. Tell him to take care of you so you won't be afraid, man. And that heavy thing that you have inside you, I don't know, that monkey that you have on your back, that thing that makes you click, that prevents you from being strong, that prevents you from that makes you scared, that makes you weak. I don't know what it is. Give it to God. Give it to the Lord, man. That's what he meant yesterday. Stop being afraid. Be strong. Yeah, man. Be strong. And don't stop being afraid and tell the Lord to take it from you. So if you're not, and man, it's bad right now. Yeah, Indio, you know, business is bad, bro. Business is bad. Business is bad. Oh, dude, I get phone calls from everyone lately. You know I'm busy on the phone when you get a phone call from almost every state in the US, everybody from Cali to Boston to Florida to Alaska. I had someone call me from Alaska asking for advice, asking for tips. I give it to them. I tell them as much as I can. And usually they're just spending too much money. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm on this video. I'm not preaching to you. I'm just telling you the story that happened. I'm not a very church-like person, but I have been going to church lately because I think it's important. Because my health, also my mental, my physical, mentally, psychologically, I think it's good to go to church. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. But this guy told me the story, and then that morning the pastor was talking about being afraid. Give the Lord your strength. Give your Lord your afraidness. You're scared. Give it to Him, and He'll take it out of you. And you won't be afraid, and then you'll start a junk removal service, or you'll do anything you're going to take your path in, and it'll lead you in the right direction. And that was pretty cool. Anyway, I have a question here. If you have any questions on this channel, ask them now, and I'll answer them. And we can. This is my last lap, guys. So this is what I look at every morning. Those are apartments over there. I live way back there. I have a home. And there's houses on this side of the street, and those are apartments, and my gym is right there. So my gym is right there, right over those apartments. There's a shopping center, and the gym, Planet Fitness, is there. So first question is from trash removal, trash transport. Thinking about getting a box truck. Do you have any issues with your 16-foot in the city? I'm gonna tell you something, man. No lie. The box truck is the best truck that I have in my arsenal of trucks. Now, why? It stays connected. There's no hitch on it. It holds so much trash. It's a Ford F-350. Have I had trouble with it? Just a bit. Just a bit. I remember changing out some coils. I remember changing out something wrong, a gasket on it. I spent about $1,200, $1,500 on this truck. In its life, I think I've spent like $3,000 in its whole life. The truck cost me $2,200. Dude, that thing's made me so much money. And over the last 5 years that I've had the truck, I've spent about $3,000 on it. $500, $600 every once in a while. You know, it adds up. It adds up. Oil changes and shit like that, stuff like that. Excuse me. It's a great vehicle, man. Never go wrong on that vehicle. Very good vehicle. Highly recommend it. Just don't get like a, I don't know if they make a 1,500 box truck or F-150 box truck. I doubt it. Mine is an F-450, okay? It's a diesel. Get a diesel. Diesel's high, but diesel lasts so long. For an example, I'm gonna tell you something. My Junk Guys Nashville, one of our accounts in Nashville, Texas, ran by Carson Alexander. He owns an F-350 gas box truck, 16 foot, just like mine, same size and everything. And he puts fuel every single day. Every day he puts fuel. In my diesel truck, I put fuel every 3 or 4 days. It lasts longer in my diesel. It costs more, but it lasts a lot longer. And I drive everywhere in that damn truck. Everywhere. All right. Next question. Kevin says, I started out with the 2005 F-150 and pulled my 14-foot utility trailer. 14 foot? That's not bad size. With custom built walls behind that bad boy. It sagged and dragged, but never let me down and helped me build my business. Of course, yeah. Not bad. I mean, you have a small truck, you have a small trailer, it's gonna work out, man. As long as you didn't get like a dump trailer with metal walls and all that stuff, you know. Jeffrey Landon says, 16-foot box is great. Perfect size in my opinion. Of course, man. Perfect size. It's a great size. A 16-foot box truck or a 16-foot trailer, it is awesome. It's a great size. Great size. Oh, is the sun going to come out today? Junk Guys Tampa Bay says he has one too, but he's got a B10. Holy moly. So, I have my home down the street, and my mom has a B10 Triton F350, and she parked it on my house. It's parked at my house, and she asked me if I wanted it. I said, Mom, the gas alone will make me close my doors. So she took it off the property. I don't know what she did with it. I don't know where it's at. I think my brother's using it. I don't know where it's at, but it's off my property now. She took it off about a month ago. She had this Range Rover she took too. It was on my property. She took that. So, taking that risk and being afraid of failure doesn't exist, man. It can't exist. If you get into this business with the idea that you're going to fail, with those questions in your mind, you're going to fail, it's because you're probably going to fail. Yeah, you're going to fail. You have to be able to be strong. You have to be able to follow your dreams. You're going to have to be able to work hard and motivate yourself to get out there and kick ass and take names, man. Kick ass and take names. So Nick, Junk Guys, San Diego, right? He contacted me yesterday and asked me about an NPR truck, and I didn't get back to him. I was so busy yesterday. I was in dance class when he asked me. I'm doing like, you know what I mean? Nick says, keep it going. My 73 Chevy dump and 91 Cummins, these are all workhorses. I need legend. Call after boxing. Oh, he's hilarious. I don't know, man. I just wish that everybody had a successful business. I'll tell you something about business. Business is hard. Business is tough. Business is not easy. I'm going to tell you, if owning a business was easy, everybody would do it. Do y'all not understand that? If owning a junk removal, and we're just going to say junk removal because every business is tough. Every business. Retail's tough right now. Restaurants are tough right now. But if business was easy, everybody would be doing it. But again, we're challenged by the economy. We're challenged by the people. We're challenged by culture, and we're challenged by the law that it's not easy. It's hard. Good morning. Business is very difficult. To stay in business is very difficult. To start a business is very difficult. Owning a business is very difficult. Challenging yourself in business is very difficult. Jeffrey says it's just effort. Really is. Most people are just lazy or work. Oh God, saying that word to me, lazy, bro. Jeffrey, you're absolutely right. I know a guy who's owned a junk removal business for 1.5 years. That's 16 months. And has not motivated himself to get a Google My Business and a website. And he does junk removal daily, man. You know, bless his heart, man. He's just trying, dude. I just talk to him all the time, and I try to give him advice as much as I can. But he just seems sometimes he's lost. Is he mixed?
She's a lab pit, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we had one of those. Same thing, lab pit too.
They're a blast.
They're always happy.
Always.
Oh, it's weird.
Friendly to a fault.
Yeah, it's weird. You too, brother. And I don't know what I was saying. I lost my train of thought. So, being able to challenge, and I think I was talking about challenging, I think. You know, I don't know, man. Like I said, how business is hard. It's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Everybody would own their own business, right? Everybody would have their own business if it was easy, and everybody would be making money if it was easy. But it's not. It's a challenge. It's a thing in life that God gives you to challenge you to make it seem if you're good enough. But like Jeffrey was saying, dude, people are effing lazy. It is absolutely true. People are lazy. They don't want to go to work. I was talking to Orson last night. Orson is owner of Grand Prairie Junk Removal, and I was talking to him, and he said, Ricardo, what you've done with your business, this business of junk removal, is bar none one of the most incredible things I did. And I said, why is that? I was like, tell me. You know, he was hyping me up, right? He was hyping me up, and I'm like, tell me, what do you mean? But the way he said it, it sounded so genuine. He said, think about what you do, bro. You have probably, he said, you have a successful junk removal business in Dallas-Fort Worth. And then you teach people how to do junk removal in Fort Worth. And then you go outside of Texas and you teach people things about junk removal. And I'm like, yeah, you know, because it's easy, blah, blah. And he goes, and it comes so easy to you talking to people. I'm like, yeah. And he goes, you give all these people chances. And this is the part that I like. He said that you help them provide for their family. Yes, I guess. But, and you're in other states, you're in other cities with your brand and your marketing and your name. And I was like, yeah. And he said, and can you imagine? You also own 200 houses. And that kind of got to me. I was like, yeah. He said, you're the only person that I know who does that. Trash transport. How do you discuss pricing over the phone? Clarissa said. So the comment before that really fast says, Clarissa says, I stopped selling drugs because cops hated my business. It could have been because it was illegal, you know? That's funny. Trash Transport says, how do you discuss pricing over the phone with the customer with the big ass 16-foot box truck without giving them a high full load price and scaring them off? So easy, bro. So easy. Great question, Trash Transport. So whenever, see, that's the thing about it. Let me tell you something. Trash Transport. In the comments below, I want you to tell me how much is your full trailer. Tell me how much your full trailer is. Watch it. I'm going to show you something, okay? I'm going to show you something that people never think about. It's like so standard of a tool